Hiya buddies, Jose here, Wire Ninjas. We build systems and circuits of integrity. We're also Dreamedia's preferred partner in the New Jersey area, and that means two things. One, we make amazing videos for you guys, truly amazing. Number two, if you need audio video equipment or system design, hit up Dreamedia, they got you covered. Also, if you need install, hit up Dreamedia, they got you covered because they're going to send you to the Wire Ninjas, the best in the game. Now, today we're going to be talking about rack wiring or rack logistics, or how the rack itself plays out from start to finish. We're going to check out one of our existing racks we just finished, and I'm going to show you guys how I did things and why. All right, gang, so here we have a finished rack, and it's looking pretty good. Other than the fact that it's a skeleton, I like fully enclosed racks, but this room's kind of hot, and thermals is one thing I guess we should talk about. So if you have a hotter room, I would leave the panels off. We can fully enclose this rack, but no reason to because this is an unfinished room if you want to pan around. HVAC don't reach here, which is fine for most solid state equipment. It's not like unreasonable in here, but it's hot enough to where I would not put the panels on. I'd leave them off. It would definitely do the equipment some justice to get the air out. So now, let's talk about rack wiring or rack logistics, the way we attack this thing. So, I guess step one, or how we start this thing, is literally putting the rack on the wall. For a rack this size and this heavy, you definitely want to hit two studs, which is what we did. It's easier with an exposed wall, but hit two studs, get some washers, make sure this thing is strong and will never come down. I mean, it'll be a massive problem if it does. But step one is to actually get this rack on the wall. And step two is to pull all your cables to said rack location, which could take you several days or weeks depending on your level of experience and skill set. But step two is to get all these wires in place. Now, wires, when we pull them in place, we pull them to a certain length, and I determine that length site to site. I don't have a standard length because honestly, every site is different, every rack is different, height, width, whatever it is, equipment going in. It's all relative to the particular site. So what we do is we pull wire to the determined length. And as soon as all our circuits are in place, we can then start terminating our circuits. And then once all the circuits are terminated at the wall end, the wall or the end point, end device end, camera, data ports, Wi-Fi access points, then we start attacking the rack. And the way we do that is we branch the circuits from where they enter the rack all the way out, and we create these nice, clean, beautiful, yummy spaghetti lines, of wires. And we try to have it, threaded so that each and every wire looks good aesthetically and nothing's tugging or snagging on each other, that these things flow. You want these things to flow. So we pull them all into a nice, clean run. And then we start throwing equipment in, and we start placing equipment and deciding where equipment's going to go. And let's talk about that. So you should be considering thermals. You should be considering the equipment where the exhaust is. If the exhaust is out the back, that's one thing. Then you can stack the U's together. If it's at the top or the bottom, then you can't stack U's together. These have the exhaust in the front and back, so you can stack the U's together, not block any exhaust or ruin any thermals. Another thing to consider is the patch panel or patch panels. So if all the wires are going to come out here, you kind of want the ports that they're going to interconnect with to be above and below. So I usually go a few U's down depending on the rack. Again, I like to stack my one or two pieces of equipment, then a patch panel, then another piece, one or two pieces of equipment, because when you patch out, look, you're patching down, you're patching up, and you're using shorter patch cables, lowers the cost of materials. Also keeps things clean, easy, structured, and easily rewired, workable, stuff like that. So I think the first thing I got in was these two pieces. I threw these in, and then I decided, hey, patch panel's going in the middle. Then I could throw my other switch and MVR, and I could patch to both. It's the best use of the space because the origin for all these little patch cables is here, destinations here, above and below. So if I put it all solely at the top or the bottom, I'd be patching to like random locations. It would be, I think in my opinion, it'd be a mess, it'd be a lot messier. It wouldn't play out as good as it did. Now, equipment goes in. You decide where your patch panel is going to go. You have to get your patch panel all wired up, and I kind of do power last. I keep it separate. Let's take a look how power was distributed here. So we try to do data on one side and keep it away and separate from the power. So power here 1, power here 2. We're leaving this unplugged on purpose. All the power runs down this side, I believe, except for the NVR because it's not able to. So we have power down this side. Data's gone all the way up and through. These are your NVR cables coming from the patch panel. When it comes to a rack wiring or low voltage in general, especially category cabling, I like to use Velcro. As you can see, everything is Velcroed. There's only a zip tie where we particularly need it, which is here and here to keep this. And when you use zip ties, make sure you don't tighten the piss out of them. Make sure that you tighten them only as much as you need to hold the stuff in place. But otherwise, Velcro is the way to go because it can easily be unstrapped, restrapped. You can add a circuit, you can remove a circuit, you can trace a circuit. It's really beautiful to work with. It's very usable, serviceable, and it also looks nice too, and doesn't leave any nasty residue or anything like that. I try to be a little bit, insightful and say, it takes us about a week, finished walls, what cable to use and why, and that's about it.
Oh my gosh, is that the Dreamedia van in my neighborhood? What? Wait, Dreamedia, come back!